been a while since I've been on Bronny James' neck, and by virtue of that, LeBron James' neck as well. But today, we getting back on that motherfucker.
I can't say anymore. I'm probably already in trouble for mentioning it to a, well, we call you normies.
Bronny James, most of you know the history or the rising of LeBron James. I'm sorry, Bronny James. We all know that, he was a big high school prospect. He ended up going to college at USC. He had a very serious, a very major health issue. Okay, they had to, get over or get around or get back to good health. Okay, and because that, his intro collegiate season got cut short. All right, he declared for the NBA. He got drafted, second round, 55th pick to the LA Lakers, as everybody predicted, via LeBron James, via his agent, Rich Paul, all of that. Okay, by pretty much forcing everyone not to pick him. All right. From there, he gets the guaranteed money that no other rookies got in that placement in the draft. Okay. And most rookies don't get ever. All right. And then everybody's talking about he's not going to go to the G League, even though I believe it was Brian Windhorst. I believe he reported this on ESPN that he was going to be flip-flopping from the G League when the Lakers go on away games and things like that. So then comes media day. It's all good. They come out together. They have their press conference together. JJ Redick talks good about him, blah, blah, blah. All right. Then they have their first game where LeBron's on the floor, and then Bronny checks in, and they have the first game together, first, round of play together. And it was so momentous and history making, which is great. But since then, Bronny James has been playing in the G League, and he's actually done pretty good there. But in the NBA, well, I'm sorry, but he stinks.
Enemy spotted.
Now, you see the article here. Stephen A. Smith makes plea to LeBron James as a father. Stop with Bronny.
Stop it. Get some help.
Because he's freaking terrible in the NBA. I'm sorry I was about to drop an F-bomb, but I can't do that yet for YouTube censorship, all right? But he's terrible. Now, before we get to the article and the video that I want to play for you from First Take where Stephen A. Smith makes his plea, let's look at these stats real quick, all right? This is Bronny James' current average in the G League, okay? Now, says here, Bronny James guard, 6'3", you know the stats right here, you can read it. I'll leave this link to this in the description box. His average is 16.3 points, 4.2 rebounds, 4.2 assists. All right. Plays pretty good, okay? Plays pretty all right. Now, what do you think his statistics are in the NBA? 0.3 points, 0.4 rebounds, 0.3 assists, and 6.3% from field goal range.
Come on, man. That's tough. That's tough.
Cue the Undertaker bell. Cue fatality.
Fatality.
Because these are horrible, dismal, as Stephen A. Smith would say, statistics. All right? So this is horrible. This is terrible. And because of that, and I think a couple nights ago they played the 76ers, Bronny James came out there and he had more turnovers than he did actual performance on the floor, which is most of his games when he's in the NBA. All right. His turnovers are higher than his actual average of play. Okay. So you see it. First Take host asks tough questions to LeBron James. Let's get into the article and then the video. For just $5 a month, please consider becoming a member of Welcome to Normieville. There you will find access to members-only videos and members-only live streams, as well as a host of other perks. Thank you for your consideration. Back to the video. Bronny James played 15 minutes in the Los Angeles Lakers loss to the Philadelphia 76ers on Tuesday night, going 0 for 15 from the field. That is horrible.
You lose.
And failing to score yet again, the rookie is now 1 for 16 over the season, over 44 minutes of action, making him one of the most unproductive players in the goddamn league. Wow. To be clear, his occasional presence on the floor this season has little to no impact on the Lakers' overall record, which currently sits at 26-19, good for 5th in the Western Conference. Because He's LeBron James' son, though. Bronny was a topic on First Take Wednesday, providing the opportunity for Stephen A. Smith to make a fatherly request. All right, let's go down to the rest of the article because I don't want to play the quote because we're going to watch the video. The stats and evidence have been extremely underwhelming, and Bronny was always going to face an uphill climb in the court of opinion, even if he looked like an actual NBA player. That is true because of his father, all right, and how he fast-tracked from college, unfortunately, to the pros. All right, I think he should have got more time in college to actually hone his skills, and we could see more of him before he got to the NBA. Because I mean, it's clear he's just not ready. Right? There's no disputing that at this point. All right. Perhaps there is no one who will press his father on the issue because of his status, and Smith certainly has the cachet. He raises an interesting argument. At the same time, First Take isn't doing the James family any favors by deciding that everything going on in sports, the Lakers' late January rotation, merits being a topic on one of the shows of record. Now, most of these sports shows always highlights Bronny whether he does good or not, which I think is also ridiculous. It's a delicate situation, and turning it into an issue for a father makes it seem more personal. Yet there's no way the situation cannot be personal because of who James is and what levers he can pull to make his shared dreams a reality. All right. Now, give me a second. Let me get to the Twitter page so we can watch the video in question. All right, y'all see the video here? First Take, I'm pleading with LeBron James as a father to stop this. Now, because this is First Take, it's a YouTube video, it's on the platform, I got to get my fair use clause before we dig into this video. So before we continue, fair use.
I'm really trying to be as respectful as I possibly can be towards LeBron James. One of the top 2 or 3 players in the history of basketball, number 2 in my eyes. A treasure to the game of basketball that we should and will all miss when he is gone. I am pleading with LeBron James as a father. Stop this. Stop this. We all know that Bronny James is in the NBA because of his dad.
Yep.
Now, I believe that, look, Stephen A. Smith, he's on here and he's like, you know what, man? Like, hey, LeBron, your son plays like ass, man. I know you want to get him in the league, and I respect the fact that you made history with your son. It's great. It's wonderful. We all love it. But now he just looks terrible. And now it's more embarrassing than it is history making. Please, I beg you, get this young ninja off of the court. Please. Let's continue.
The first game of the season, opening night, the Griffeys in attendance, father-son duo playing in an NBA game for the first time, an absolutely positively wonderful story. And then reality sets in. We love what we're seeing from him in the G League because that's where you belong. As you hone your skills and you get better and you legitimately earn, which I believe he has the potential to do. I am rooting for Bronny James. It would be cruel to root against him. He's a wonderful kid. I wish him nothing but the best. But he's LeBron James' son. And everybody knows what attention that brings. Molly, Doggy, put them up on the screen because I want to see their face when I say this. Right now, Bronny James is averaging 0.3 points, 0.3 assists, and 0.4 rebounds.
Perfect.
Hold up. I just called that, right? Now, the heading there you see is a JJ Redick on Bronny. Maybe I put him in a tough spot and lost because, of course, they lost the game. They put Bronny in at, I think, a very important moment in the game. And because of that, well, we had to talk about that. That highlighted Bronny. And because of that, we had to look at his play And then they started digging into his averages and everything like that. And so JJ Redick was on the spot for putting in Bronny in the game at a point where they needed to, turn the game around. And well, here we are. Now, Stephen A. Smith is highlighting how terrible LeBron James is in the NBA. Now, and again, like he just said, in the G League, he's great. I showed y'all the averages. In the NBA, he just stinks, and the numbers don't lie.
What people are saying. You know what they're going to do to this kid. In 13 games, he has played 44 minutes. He has scored 4 points. He is shooting 1 of 16 from the field, 0 for 7 from three-point range. How are you doing him favors? We know that he's not ready yet. And I'm saying this with compassion. I'm asking the greatest player in the game, one of the top 2 players in the history of basketball, an ambassador for this game, the face of the league, a 4-time champion, a guy that's gone to 10 NBA finals, one of the greatest we have ever or will ever see, who is a basketball savant. You know, better than me, better than Doggy, better than JJ Redick, better than Rob Pelinka, better than any basketball analysis or analyst that exists. You know.
You see how he's reaching into his soul by saying this, like, man, stop the bleeding. LeBron, he's not getting better. Not to say he's not getting worse, but he needs more time. Let him stay in the G League. I mean, he fast-tracked out of college, which he probably should have stayed there the rest of his 3 years and his whole term in college, so he can progress and get better naturally instead of now throwing him in with the grown men, and he's not ready. And not to say that he doesn't know he's not. I'm sure he's positive. I'm sure he has a good work ethic like his dad, but he's just not ready yet. He's not LeBron. Now, there are other players, Michael Jordan's son, he didn't get there, and other great players, their sons didn't get to the league. We have some that are. And we got brothers in there and all kind of stuff like that, right? But I'm sorry, but outside of the great history making that was made with him being in the league, his actual play is not good.
What these numbers mean, you know what it's going to do to your son, to people who are missing out on opportunities, that are busting their tail on other NBA teams in the G League, in Europe, and everywhere else, what kind of opportunity they're starving for. You're exposing your son like this?
Now, the reason he said you're exposing your son like this, he's talking about other players and other opportunities. And by the way, the video's over. Because a lot of people, there are a lot of critics out there of Bronny, and, to be honest, myself included, that felt that, he was picked second round, 55th pick. Some people said he didn't even deserve that. And the fact that he's having these numbers in the league at this moment shows that, I haven't gone through the everybody that got drafted to see what their stats are, but unfortunately, we're talking about Bronny because he's the biggest name. Even though he was picked so low, he's still the biggest name. Does anybody remember who the number 1 pick was, who the 2nd pick was, who the 8th pick was, who the 10th pick was? No. Unless you're a diehard basketball fan, you only remember Bronny because that was the highlight of the draft. And he was damn near the end. And so, yes, now Bronny's being exposed for being a bad player, even though for his statistics prove that he shouldn't even be in the league because they're so low. I bet you the guy that's before him probably got better stats than him. Matter of fact, the other guy they picked in the draft before Bronny is better than him. I forgot his name, but damn near everybody that got picked in the draft is better than Bronny at this point. Right? It's sad. And so Stephen A. Smith is making a plea to LeBron, hey man, maybe just let him stay in the G League for like another year or two and then bring him back out. Okay, y'all made the history, man, but now it just looks bad. Not only on Bronny, but it's looking bad on LeBron because you're putting him out there knowing he's trash. I mean, I'm sorry to say it. Maybe I'm the enemy.
Enemy spotted.
But that's the truth. Again, the numbers don't lie. All right? But you see Stephen A. Smith, he's making a plea to LeBron, hey, man, do something about this because the more he gets exposed, the more we got to talk about him because he's in the NBA. So we got to talk about him. And he's one of the biggest names alongside you. So we got to talk about him. And we're going to keep exposing how bad he is until you either get him you help him improve or you put him in the G League permanently for the next, for a while. Okay? And he's getting paid the guarantee money. He's got the guarantee contract. So it all looks bad. That's just me though. Okay? Y'all let me know what y'all think about it down in the comment section. With that being said, thank you for attending another episode of Normieville. You know me, I'm Justin Normie, here to bring you the latest and greatest in sports news, entertainment, and politics. Let me know what you think about Bronny and the G League down in the comment section. Not the G League, but the NBA and his dismal, atrocious statistics and performance. All right? Let me know what you think about it down in the comment section. And please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell on your way out of the door. And I will see you on the next video.